Okay, so in this video we will see next 5 question, that is from question number 131 to 135, and all these questions are available on examtopics.com website, and all these questions are related to Google Professional Data Engineer exam. So let's start. Question number 131. As your organization expands its usage of GSP, many teams have started to create their own projects. Okay, so it means so many teams and so many projects. Projects are further multiplied to accommodate different stages of deployment and target audience. Each project require unique access control configuration, so something related to the access, and each project require their unique access control. The central IT team needs to have access to all projects, and there is one central IT team which have access to all projects. Furthermore, data from cloud storage bucket and BigQuery dataset must be shared for use in other project in an ad hoc way. Okay, you want to simplify access control management, so we need to simplify access control management by minimizing the number of policies. Which 2 steps should you take? Choose 2. So we have 5 options, so better do from the elimination methods. So option A, use cloud deployment manager to automate access provision. So they told that we have to simplify process, so do one thing, and minimizing the number of policies, so do one thing, use cloud deployment manager. So first thing is that they have not mentioned how they will provide the access, right? They just mentioned use cloud deployment manager to automate access provision. And second thing is that cloud deployment manager generally used to to automate of the creation of resources. So option A is eliminated. Option B, introduce resource hierarchy to leverage access control policy inheritance. Okay, they told that okay, we will give the access on the base of the resource hierarchy. Okay, fine. Create distinct groups for various teams and specify groups in cloud AIM policy. So definitely fine, because this is a Google recommended, rather than giving the access to the individual users, create a groups and give the access. So C is perfectly okay. Only use service account when sharing the data for cloud storage bucket and BigQuery dataset. Okay, so they told that because in the question it has mentioned furthermore data from the cloud storage bucket and the BigQuery also be shared. So they told that it will be shared using the service account, not by the directly user. For each cloud storage bucket or BigQuery dataset, decide which project need access, find all the active members of the project, create a policy to grant access to all these users. So this is not recommended, because Google said that we will not provide the access to all user, though we will create a groups option as mentioned in option number C. So option E is even more overhead, and we need to simplify the access control, right? So option A is eliminated, option A is eliminated, right? Now we have option number B, C, D. Out of B, C, D, C is perfectly okay, we will create a group, but we need to select 2 options. Now option number B and option number D left, whether we will use option number B or whether we will use option number D. Okay, let's read the question again. Further, as per the different stages of deployment of target audience, each project requires unique access control configuration, right? So it doesn't mention that the project require only the access of the cloud storage bucket and the BigQuery dataset. They told that each project require their unique access configuration, maybe for the various resources. So it is always recommended by the Google, we will give the access on base of the resource hierarchy. So option B looks okay here, because if we choose option number D, here it is mentioned we will give the access on the service account, and if any project want to access the data, they will use the service account. and to use the service account they have to create some application, and via some application they will use the account, they will use the data. But nothing is mentioned in the question like that they will create their own application or they will write some code to access the data. Nothing is mentioned. So on B and C looks okay here. So BC is the correct answer. Question number 132. Your United States based company, okay, we have company in the US, created an application, they created one application for accessing and responding to user action. Okay, the primary table data volume grows by 250k records per second. Okay, so we have a very huge data which is growing with this speed. Many third parties use your application API to build the functionality into their own front-end application. Okay, so many third party are accessing our API, our application using API. Your application API should comply with the following requirement. Okay, so we need to create an application with these following requirement. That is a single global endpoint, and it should be the NC SQL support, consistent access to the most up-to-date data. Okay, so what should you do? So first thing is that SQL support, right? So if in the option we have no SQL database provided, we will directly eliminate that, right? And consistent access to the most up-to-date data and single global data point and the large volume. So we need to consider all these parameters. Okay, we have these four options. Implement BigQuery with no region selected and storage or processing. BigQuery is okay, but they have mentioned with no region selected. How we will create the dataset by without selecting no region? If we create, when we create the dataset, we need to select the region, in which region we are creating the dataset. Option A is wrong. Implement Cloud Spanner for the leader in North America and read-only replica in the Asia and Europe. So Cloud Spanner is also okay because it support SQL and it is scalable, so it can handle this number of data. And single global endpoint, so there should be single global endpoint and anyone can access the data. So one copy could be in the North America and the other read only replica in another continent. That is fine. Implement Cloud SQL and Postgres SQL. So this doesn't look good, though they will support the NC SQL support, but like they will not like handle such a large amount of data, because this number of records is getting inserted per second. So option C is eliminated. Implement Cloud Bigtable. So Cloud Bigtable is like no SQL, so definitely it will not support the SQL support. So option D eliminated. So only one option left, that is option number B. Option B is the correct answer. Question number 133. A data scientist has created a BigQuery ML model, okay, and ask you to create a ML pipeline to serve prediction. Okay, we created BQML model, and we need to create a ML pipeline to serve the prediction. You have a REST API application with the requirement to serve prediction for an individual user ID with latency under 100 milliseconds. So the speed should be very fast. That is under 100 millisecond. It's not second, it's 100 millisecond. You use the following query to generate prediction. Okay, select this from ml.predict. Okay, how should you create the ML pipeline? So the basic problem is how we will create the ML pipeline, and we need to like consider this factor as well. Like the pipeline should like serve the prediction under the 100 millisecond. Okay, so first thing is that add a where clause to the query and grant the BigQuery data viewer role to the application service account. So if we do this, they told that add a where clause and grant the BigQuery data viewer and directly give the access of the BigQuery data viewer. But the question says we need to serve this via the ML pipeline, and we need to create the pipeline. So nothing is mentioned about the ML pipeline, right? They told that directly give the access to the BigQuery data. So option A is wrong. Create an authorized view with the provided query, share the dataset that contains the view and application service account. So no, they told, okay, so they also again did the same thing, rather than directly providing the access. They told that we will create a view and provide the access to the view. So this also like wrong, because we need to create a pipeline. Create a cloud data flow pipeline, okay, with BigQuery input output to read result from the query, grant the data flow worker to application to the service account. So that looks okay. Create a cloud data flow pipeline using BigQuery input output to read prediction for all the user from the query. Okay, we will read the prediction from the BigQuery and we will write the prediction into the big table, and we will give the application, because we are like we have the application who will like access the prediction. So we will give the access, or we will give the grant authority of the big table reader to the application. Okay, fine. So that the application can read the prediction of the cloud big table. So now we have the two options left, that is option number C and option number D. But if we reread the question, they told that the latency should be under 100 millisecond. So BigQuery generally have the more latency and the big table has the less latency. So here answer should be big table, that is option number D. So option number D is the correct answer, because we need to serve under 100 millisecond. BigQuery is not like much as faster as the big table in terms of latency. So big table is the correct answer here. Question number 134. You are building an application, okay, to share financial market data with the customer. Okay, who will receive data feeds. Okay, data is collected from the markets in real time. So as soon as I see the option of real time, only one option will click in my mind, that is PubSub. Consumer will receive the data in the following ways, that is the real time, so should be PubSub, and NCSQL, so should be some SQL database, and batch historical export. So we need to export the data into the batch historical. So what solution should you use? So cloud data flow, cloud SQL, cloud spanner, but we don't have the real time event system. PubSub is missing, so wrong. Cloud PubSub, okay, fine. Cloud storage, BigQuery, so perfectly okay. Cloud PubSub is for the real time, BigQuery is for the NCSQL, and batch historical exports. We can export the data into the cloud storage, so perfectly okay. Option B looks okay. Cloud data proc, so again PubSub is missing. Cloud PubSub, okay, fine. Cloud data proc and cloud SQL, but where we will like export the data. So does it mean we will export the data into the SQL itself and we will like access into the run the query into the SQL itself? And what is the use of data proc then? So the correct answer is this, option number B. Option B is the correct answer. Last question, question number 135. You are building a new application, okay, that you need to, so okay, first let's complete this question. You are building a new application that you need to collect data from a scalable way, in a scalable way. So this is the keyword. Data arrives continuously. This is the another keyword. Continuously means real time. The PubSub. Scalable means so something related with the data flow from the application throughout the day, and you expect 150 GB of JSON data per day by the end of the year. Okay, your requirements are decoupling producer from consumer, space and cost efficient, and stored indefinitely. Real-time SQL query, okay, it's SQL. Maintain at least 2 years of historical data with which will be queried with SQL. Okay, which pipeline should you use to meet this requirement? So it is a real-time, it is scalable, it is a 150 GB data per day. So 150 GB into 365 by till the end of year, and multiply by 2 for the 2 years data. So they told that create an application that provides an API, write a tool to poll the API, and write a data to the cloud storage as a zipped JSON file. So nothing related with the SQL, nothing related with the real time, right? So option A is wrong. create an application that writes to Cloud SQL database to store the data, set up periodic exports of the database to the cloud storage, and load data into the BigQuery. They told that writes the data into the Cloud SQL, but what about the real time? So PubSub is missing here, and also Cloud SQL is not scalable. Along with that, Cloud SQL will I don't think like it will able to store this amount of data, like 150 GB per day from multiplied by 365 multiplied by 2 years. So option A, B wrong. Create an application that pushes events to Cloud PubSub. Okay, fine. Create a Spark job on Cloud Data Proc to convert the JSON into the AVR format and stored on HDFS on persistent disk. If we store into the persistent disk, it is like totally wrong, because if the cluster Spark cluster got stopped or destroyed, then all the data will be lost. So option C wrong. Create an application that publishes the event to the Cloud PubSub. Okay, Cloud PubSub. Okay, real time. Create a Cloud Data Flow pipeline. Okay, that is also fine, scalable. Transform the JSON events payload into the AVRO and writing the data to the cloud storage and the BigQuery. So that is perfectly okay, because BigQuery is for the SQL, cloud data storage to store the historical data, PubSub is for the real time. So option D is correct. Yeah, so we have covered all the 5 questions. So in the generally when we read such long question, generally we get confused with the options and with the question as well, because the question is like lengthy, generally of 4 to 5 lines or maybe even more. Right, so try to do use the elimination method. First read all the option and try to eliminate. Like in this case, in this question, we need to give some access and find with the minimum number of policies. And in the option number E, that is option number 5, they told that we will provide the access to all users. So option E is wrong. So we in this way we can easily eliminate the options. So we have to choose 2 options. So we have easily eliminated at least 1 option. Now we have the 4 option left, and out of 4 option we can easily eliminate like a Cloud Deployment Manager, because it is generally the automation tool to provide the to create the resources. So option A is also eliminated. Now we have option 3 left. So out of 5 options we have easily eliminated the 2 options. So if we attempt the questions using the elimination method, then we can easily clear this exam. Yeah, that's the end of the video.